Hi everyone, RockaFill here. Just wanted to make a video about the problems I've had with the Smith Wesson Walther PPK. I know a lot of you may own this firearm. It's pretty popular. It's most often seen, I guess its popularity is kind of conjured up with the movies, and it's known as the James Bond gun. And that was its draw, the biggest draw to me at least. So, it's popular. Maybe you already own the firearm. Maybe you're looking to buy it, and maybe you're just looking to see what problems exist out there with it. And this is my experience with it. This may not be typical for anyone else. No one, you may have had a firearm like this that never gave you any trouble. But again, this is just my experience, and I just kind of wanted to pass that along to anybody who would be interested in that. A little backstory on this particular firearm. The problem I'm about to demonstrate for you has been ongoing since I owned this weapon. It was actually sent back to Smith & Wesson on several occasions, about 2 or 3 times, and never was corrected. The problem always repeated itself when I would get the gun back. I would shoot maybe a magazine through the gun, and the problem would repeat itself. I would say it's a pretty catastrophic malfunction, especially if you're using this gun in a defensive situation. It certainly has the potential, to cause harm if you're using it in that sense. And I've talked to Smith & Wesson on several occasions about it. The last time I talked to them, I actually got in touch with the gunsmith himself, and he said that, if I can't fix this problem, we'll just give you a new gun. So I thought that was a little interesting that they would say that. But anyway, so this has been an ongoing problem. Bought the gun brand new, it was not used. So there was, nothing as far as that goes. Probably only put about 200 or 300 rounds through this firearm. So this has been a major malfunction, and it's in a relatively new firearm, I'll have to say. But anyways, let's get on to demonstrating it for you. Some of you may know, or some of you may not know, firearms typically have 2 modes, especially these hammer-fired firearms. You either have a double action mode or single action mode. This firearm is a double single action firearm. And for some of you that may not know that term, when we say single action, we mean it takes a single action pull of the trigger to fire the weapon. In this case, with a hammer-fired weapon, and I just want to kind of throw this out here before we do anything with this. This firearm has been safety checked prior to this video, so I'm not going to waste any time demonstrating that right now. But with the single action mode, would be the hammer is already in the cocked position, and we pull the trigger, firing the weapon. That's single action. My firearm works great in single action. In fact, it's the only mode that it works in. Now, with double action, we're talking about a double action trigger pull. We're talking about the 2 actions being done at one time to fire the weapon. So we're actually pulling the trigger with the hammer in the down position, and as the trigger is pulled, the hammer will come back and fire the weapon. And this is the problem that I've had with this gun. So I'll demonstrate now. If we're in double action mode, we go to pull the trigger, and you hear that click. It's slipping. There's nothing attached there. So I feel resistance here and a slip. And if we continue through with the trigger pull, that is as far as the hammer will go. So you're here. So that's the main problem. I'll go ahead and field strip the firearm because I kind of want to point out what I'm noticing being the problem. So we'll break it down here. And you really can't see the mechanics of what's going wrong unless we take the grips off. It's not going to be noticeable. So I'm going to actually do that and take the grips off. Now, okay, now we have the grips off. I kind of just want to fast forward through that. That's kind of a mundane task of taking those off. We can actually see the the trigger mechanism here of the point where I think is failing. Um, you know, again, I'm no gunsmith. I'm no gun expert. I'd like to think that I have a good experience with firearms, but this is more common sense than any kind of technical terms I can think of. Um, I will say that, the two or three times, I think it was about around three times, that I sent this firearm back to Smith & Wesson. Of course, they give you kind of a summary of their repairs and everything like that. And the things that they did were, on two occasions, they replaced the drawbar, which I believe what they call the drawbar is the trigger bar right here. And you can see the trigger bar goes all the way from the trigger up into this little piece called the cocking piece. Replaced that twice, and they actually replaced the slide stop, which I believe is here, as well. I'm not really sure why they replaced the slide stop, because that was never an issue. The gun always, locked back on the last round, so I'm not sure what that was all about, but anyway, that's what they did. So just to demonstrate what's happening, we'll lower the hammer here, and you can actually see how that mechanism begins to function here. Again, going from the trigger to the trigger bar down to the cocking piece, and I'm assuming that this cocking piece travels up and is connected to the hammer, and that's where the hammer is engaged. So from this position, we'll do the trigger pull, and you can see that the trigger bar slips out of that little cocking piece, and that results in the malfunction. And if we follow through, you can see there's where we're getting the small movement of the hammer. And I'll turn an angle, maybe you can see that this where the trigger bar connects to the cocking piece is actually slipping into the frame sideways. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So you can watch it, and of course I'm holding pressure on it, but it'll just slip in. So it's slipping like out and then down, where it should be catching here. So that's the malfunction. The other side, this just extends over to this side, and it's obviously not doing anything until it catches there. So I mean, that's really, I just kind of want to demonstrate the malfunction for you, kind of let you see the internal parts, what's going on, and just kind of put that out there for what it's worth. What's interesting is if I actually, where this pin holds this cocking mechanism in, can actually hold pressure on that in, and the gun functions as normal. But without that pressure, it's just not going to work. It's not there. So anyway, I hope this is educational to somebody. Maybe not. But this I actually contacted Smith & Wesson about doing another repair, and they said they do not handle repairs of Walther firearms anymore, which I thought was interesting. But after doing some research, it seems that Smith & Wesson has kind of swapped that out with Walther itself. I guess Walther has made a subsidiary type company, I guess, or it is Walther, so I'm not really sure how that works, but actually a company here in the United States to handle repair work, and they're kind of doing that in phases. So now it's Walther Arms Incorporated. So I actually called Walther Arms, and I'm going to send this gun back again, which Walther has never, repaired this firearm. So I'm kind of hopeful. Maybe something will get done this time. We can only hope, and I hope to do a follow-up video after I receive it back, and hopefully it's functioning 100%. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more kind of videos along these lines. I hope to do some more gun reviews and some just tactical type reviews, and just pass that information along to you guys. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.